All right, sorry about that. I actually accidentally got cut off midstream, and so I'm gonna finish out. I figured what I would do is I'd bring the increasing and decreasing down here, where I had a little bit more room to work with. So let's see now. The increasing is going to happen from negative infinity to -2, and then it's going to be decreasing from -2 all the way to negative 8.75. We'll call it 0.9 for convenience here. And then we're going up again from negative 0.9 until we get to positive 0.25. And then we pick up at positive 0.25 and we're going down to infinity. So that's what our increasing and decreasing ought to look like. Our positive and negative behavior, there is no positive. Everything is below the axis except for those two spots. So we're going to say that we're going to go from negative infinity to -2. I'm going to need 3 chunks for this. -2 to 0.25, and then 0.25 to positive infinity. All right, X-Intercepts, we have 2. We have -2, 0, and we have 0.25, 0. We have one Y-intercept, that's 0, negative 0.25. And then our end behaviors, as x approaches negative infinity, y is going down. As x approaches positive infinity, y is still going down. Okay. 4 to go. All right. I didn't give you, oh, that's right, these, I had you sketch the graph. From positive 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go a slope of 2/5, which means down 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 2 over 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the line is going to go off in that direction. Now, I will say this, we're going to have to figure out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have to figure out where this thing crosses the x-axis. So if we're going from 0, 6 to 5, 4, that means we go up 5 every time and we drop 2. Go up 5, drop 2. There we go. There is our x-intercept. Is at 15, 0. Go ahead and list that now. Our y-intercept is at 0, 6 while we're in the mood. Now the domain goes on forever. The range goes on forever. There is no local max or min. Increasing has nothing. Decreasing has everything. Positive, well, if it crosses the x-axis at 15, that means that my negative is everything from negative infinity up to 15. And then my positive is everything from 15 through, oh crap, I got it backwards. So we'll just do this. That's my positive. My negative goes from 15 to negative to positive infinity. Because everything back behind 15 is above the x-axis, so it's positive. All right, all we get left are end behaviors, which as x approaches negative infinity, y is going up. As x approaches positive infinity, y is going down. Okay. Free to go. All right. This one is going to be shifted left 1 and up 2. Now, if I were thinking like this was the origin, I would normally go over 1, up 1. But remember, this is cubic. So if you go over 2, you go up 8. 2 cubed is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're going to play the same game over here. You're going to go down 8, from here over 2, then down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we've got a graph. It's doing that. All right. And remember, with cubic, it's more a question of over 1, up 1, over 2, up 8. Because we're not dealing with quadratics. We're dealing with cubics. All right. Domain goes on forever. Range goes on forever. Because they both go on forever, there's not really a local min or a max. I guess you could say it is all increasing behavior, and that there is no such thing as decreasing. Everything above here is positive, which that is about, oh, I don't know, negative 2.3 maybe. So we're going to go with a rough guess here. So it is negative from negative infinity up to that point. And then it is positive from negative 2.3 all the rest of the way. Now, my X-intercept is about negative 2.3 and 0. My Y-intercept happens to be right on 3. My end behaviors, and again, sometimes you can just do this. Because at this point, most of them will be like this, especially if the arrows go off the chart. As x is getting smaller, y is getting smaller. As x is getting bigger, y is getting bigger. Okay, 2 more to go. We're dealing with, this is something that does not move left or right, it does move down. And it flips, and it stretches by a factor of 2. So it's going down 3, and it's going factor, normally it goes 1 over 1 down. Well, y is going to be twice as much. Now, if you need to do this with it, and just plug in so that when x is 0, and I say negative 2 times 0 is 0, minus 3 gives me negative 3. Well, that's that guy. I'm going to go 1 this way. That's 1. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5, which is down here. Also, which means if we go negative 1, we also should get negative 5. And we'll just follow that pattern straight out. Because those are supposed to be straight lines. Now, from there, we can figure out the domain. Domain is still going to be all real numbers. The range is going to start from negative infinity and crawl up as far as negative 3, and it will get a bracket there. There is a local max at 0, negative 3. There is increasing and decreasing behavior that goes from negative infinity to 0 to positive infinity. So we will say it is increasing from negative infinity to 0, and then it is decreasing from 0 to positive infinity. And meanwhile, with the positive and negative behavior, absolutely every bit of it is below. So our positive gets nothing, and our negative gets all the x's. Now, X-intercept, there is none. Y-intercept is at 0, negative 3. And the end behavior, as x gets smaller, so does y. As x gets bigger, y still gets smaller. And number last, square root of x minus 6. Since the 6 is inside the parentheses with the x, that means we're going to move 6 units to the right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there. That's where we're starting. Now, normally here, we would play the parabola game, up 1 over 1, up 2 over 4, up 1 over 1, up 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So our square root curve is going to do something like that. So our domain starts at 6 and goes to infinity. Our range starts at 0 and goes up. We do have a local min located at 6, 0. All of this is increasing behavior from 6 on up. And there is no decreasing behavior. Every bit of this is positive. Oh, be careful here. Except for 6. Where x is 6, that particular point is on the axis. That means y is 0. So this is going to be parentheses 6 going up forever, and the negatives have nothing. But be careful that 6 does not get a bracket here, because it's not positive there. All right, X-intercept is 6, 0. Y-intercept is nothing. And then we have as x approaches, the lowest it gets is 6. And y is approaching 0. But as x approaches positive infinity, y is going up also. All right, now I believe that is it. So that is the explanation for the review sheet. I am available in office hours and such, and to be honest with you, if you hit me on remind, you might just catch me at a free moment and I'll jump on Google Meets and we can talk about it. But otherwise, your test should be coming up in a couple of days.